Hi everyone, this is Science of Victory, and today Slide and I will tell you about playing on Himmelsdorf. Himmelsdorf is a very situational map. You need to think fast and act accordingly. During a battle, you will often have to switch tactics, so let's give you some options by discussing the basic tactics. Today we will be playing from the bottom base, and we'll discuss a few particular situations as usual. But first, let's correctly position your vehicles. The standard rollout of our team looks like this. One T1 scouts Banana Alley in line 7, the other one goes to the railroad. It must scout line 2. There's a good spot in G1. Another one is in the bush in H1. Note that you can't go there using the short road, as you could be destroyed. So instead, go through K1, like this. Now the heavies. One IS-3 goes to a window in G6. Another one to G4. A 5100 stays near in G3. It stays behind the corner and doesn't show itself, because it can take unnecessary damage. In case of an enemy rush from line 3, it will be spotted by our tank in G6. Another 5100 goes to J3. For now, its mission is to hide behind the house and stay out of sight. The 90 scouts the hill. That's it for the rollout. As you can see, it's pretty cautious. The thing is, our setup isn't well suited for the city maps. It will be especially hard to win against heavier setups, so we will start with such an example. Against us, 5 heavies. Our opponents have more durability, better armor, and more powerful guns. These are great advantages in cities. You'll find that, in this situation, the enemy team will rush you. We know this and try to use our advantage in mobility, our 90 to be exact. It gets to the hill faster than any enemy and stays near the mound. All tanks are ready in their place. All possible approaches to the base are seen and the enemy attack won't surprise us. Now we wait. We got the critical info from the scout on the railroad. The enemy rushes down line 2. We prepare to meet the enemy in G3. The 90 can be tempted to shoot from the hill. Don't do this. Every second counts. Get down off the hill without delay. The heavies are busy brawling, but suddenly we start to capture the base. The enemies are in a tough situation. As a result, we are victorious. At first glance, we won quite easily. However, there are several details that made it possible. Pay attention to them. First is the T1 of the railroad. It destroys the cards. Thanks to this, he spots the enemy much sooner. Don't forget to do this yourself. Another important moment was with the IS-3 in G6. It pre-aims at D2 and damages the enemy as soon as it's seen, all while staying unharmed. A good position, remember it. The play of the 5100 in J3 also matters. It wasn't seen, so we were able to lure our enemies into G3 and caught them in surprise crossfire. Also, if the enemy T1 isn't on the hill, then he's usually in E7 or C8. Our T1 can't cross the street without help. Our 90 went down from the hill and destroyed the enemy's scout first. Thanks to this, 2 tanks go for the capture and our chance for victory rose noticeably. And finally, the last detail that could have cost us the victory. When the capture started, the enemy sent one of their heavies back. It is crucial to destroy it before it gets back, even at the cost of one of your tanks. We use science and won, as usual. Though not all enemies go back to their base through the square when in that situation. They can return through line 3. In this case, our heavies are powerless, so we use simple math to aid us. If we see that we can't capture in time, then we wait as long as we can, then run. We can do this thanks to our speed. The 90 would also reunite with their allies. We destroy the enemies where they are split and finish the remaining ones later. In our next example, our rollout is the same. The 90 goes to the hill and spots several enemy tier 8s. It's dangerous to stay uphill. It's not safer to stay on line G because it can be easily shot at from the hill. We roll to the enemy base with all our tanks. We met the enemy scout on the way. Our attack isn't a surprise for the enemy anymore, so we need to react and adjust fast and precise. One IS-3 stays near the embrasure, the other one down the street in B5. We leave the 5100 here on the corner of the house, hide the T1s behind it. Note the right way to do this. Place the second 5100 behind the mound in D5, so our tanks are safe from flanking attacks. Notice that we covered ourselves from all sides. Just focus your fire and win. Let's move on. Another battle. Standard rollout again, but we can't see anyone except the enemy T1. This means that the opponents are entrenched near their base. We can't see them, but we can imagine how they are positioned. Usually the positions look like this. It's hard to get through such a defense, plus things are made much harder because they have 2 Borsigs. We'll try to reverse the situation and make the enemy attack. So we gather all tanks, leaving one 5100 in D5, and go for the capture through line 5. When using this tactic, it's important to stay unseen and pass B5 as fast as possible. Note the T1s. They passed the dangerous point by hiding behind a 5100. We got into the circle and hid the tier 1s, so the enemy has to stop hiding and attack. And that's what we need. The IS-3s run interference, one of the 5100s acts as physical cover for the T1s, and the other prevents the enemy flanking. There's another detail. If any of the enemies try to get to us from line D, then the 5100 can easily kill it. But if all enemy tier 8s are seen near B4, then our autoloader must get behind them and unload a full drum of damage. We do just that. Winning isn't a problem now. How can we play against setups similar to ours? What can I say? Usually the teams that make fewer mistakes are victorious. So we need to be extra careful and wait for our opponents to make a mistake. We'll review an example like this. The rollout is the same. Everyone except for the 90 stays downhill. We get the initial intel and we see that the enemy is positioned similar to us. This seems like it will be a tie. The 90s both play it safe and don't shoot at each other. The 5100s stay hidden and the IS-3s stay hull down using the turret's good armor. Suddenly, one of our heavies receives a shell from the hill. We can tell from the damage that it's the 90 shooting. This means his drum isn't full and it can no longer destroy ours. We send our 90 to attack and easily kill our opponent's light tank, meaning we now have one more tier 8 tank. The 90 reloads and shoots at the enemy heavies hiding in line D. With this advantage, we can now attack. Sending 2 tanks through Banana Alley and the scout to the rear, we quickly kill the heavy in D6 and press the attack. Victory! All thanks to a mistake by the opposing 90. Don't repeat such mistakes. Finally, we'll talk about one last tactic. If you don't like to play defensively and want to brawl, try playing like this. Send one T1 to the railroad, one 5100 to G3, and the rest of the tanks attack. We gamble on the element of surprise, quickly pass the square, and get that heavy in D4. Our opponents try to counterattack and are caught in crossfire. Only several minutes have passed and the battle is already decided. What can I say? Such battles are fun. That's all for today. Of course we didn't review all possible situations. Anything can happen. But we're sure that you'll now do a lot better and win more often on Himmelsdorf. Remember, if you liked it, like it. Post your questions in the comments and subscribe for more. See you soon!